YouTube, what the fuck is up? So, we have ourselves a friendly little video response. Chilling out like a rock star villain. Rocking the I Need a Beer, People Suck t-shirts. Right there it says People Suck, I Need a Beer. Haha. The link for this shirt is in the description box below. And speaking of beer, look what we got. We got ourselves a can of this stuff. Not a sponsor. I stumbled across a video that might be considered controversial to some, but according to Terrence Pop over at Redonkulous.com, there is an evil truth behind the body positivity movement. And, well, we'll stop and interject along the way as we normally do. This video is 24 minutes long, so yeah.
From the lunatics over at Not So Sane Entertainment comes a typical story of chair meets girl. Girl sits on chair's face, if you know what I mean.
Come on, bite the pillow.
Chair gets a big dose of the crimson capsule from none other than the one and only Pop.
You can't love a woman and understand them.
This is the kind of film those liberal soybeans in Hollywood refuse to make. So,
According to that, you can't love a woman and understand her. Well, love will make you do some crazy shit. And the only problem with the way women and men communicate is just that they do it differently. I've talked about it several times on my channel. Women are more subtle hints with their communication, whereas men are more direct. Unless, of course, the woman hates another woman. Then if a woman hates another woman, oh, you'll know exactly how she feels. She'll be very direct with it. She might use words that begin with letters like C, S, B, W, or B.
Head on over to notsosane.com and use the promo code SITONMYFACE for 50% off the rental or sales price and check out the chair today. Links are in the description.
I mean, it's not the worst idea for a movie I've heard, to be honest. We've seen some pretty ridiculous movies out there before, like, what the hell is Frozen? That was a really bad joke, and I need to let it go. Meanwhile, Frosty the Snowman with his corncob pipe looking at Ola like, bitch, get the fuck out of here. I was the first talking snowman. Eat a dick. To which Ola replied, what about that one bearded asshole in that one reindeer movie? And then that dude showed up, and he was like, it's not a competition, goddammit.
What's going on, you nasty bunch of binge and purgers? Terrence Pop here, Redonkulous.com.
And coming to you live from within the musty flaps of your ex-wife's fupa, I'm Toxic Male.
Bad Pop showed up today because I got some bad news for you gravitationally challenged Womalos out there. Wing. And for a change, it's not the nutrition facts on the side of the box. When No. All right, ladies.
Now, he addresses ladies with this one, but, men need to listen to this too. Because your self-worth is not determined by how much you weigh. It's determined by what you do with your life. And we're going to learn a story about this teacher who's 29 years old, and it's going to be a wonderful time on the King Cobra JFS live video. Hanging out with my peeps in Discord while we do a live video. So there you go. My fans get to see the video behind the scenes while they're watching it unfold, like, baha. And again, this is just a friendly video response when it comes to a YouTube discussion, as I like to call it. There are several YouTubers have done video responses too. Wait, he's doing a video response and it's not to Sydney Watson? Oh my God, I'm shocked. What's the video response to? Oculus.com, the evil truth behind body positivity. Which, right off the start, let's talk about that. What is body positivity? It's not feeling like a piece of shit about the way you look, basically. I mean, there are people out there who look just fine for their size, but they feel fat and disgusting. And then there are people out there who are morbidly obese and they have the most confidence in the world. It's just the crazy world we live in, right? But the whole fat acceptance movement was started for people who have been stuck like that their whole life. They diet, they exercise, everything they can think of, minus liposuction, gastric bypass, minus like the big surgeries, and nothing works. And if you spent most of your life, YouTube, being a skinny motherfucker, well, then you're not going to know what that's like. Nobody likes being the fat kid in school that everyone makes fun of. Now, if you're fat, poor, and stupid, oh, good golly. Let's just say this. Kids are assholes to each other because adults are assholes to each other. That's something to think about, and that's for a whole different video. So let's sit back, grab yourself a Stella. I'm not even trying to pronounce the second half of that. I don't want to fucking butcher it, but there you go. Beer.
Please do me a favor. Listen to me and not the girl power advocates you normally listen to. Because they have...
That just makes my inner feminist cringe. Oh, shut the fuck up, simp. Hear me out for a second. Let's say that men were the ones who have had to fight for equality since the 1960s. Like, could you imagine if the gender roles were reversed? Would Terrence Popp be sitting here on camera doing this video? No, it'd probably be a Terrence or a Tracy Popp, if anything. Can you imagine if Terrence Popp was a chick and dudes were the ones that had to fight for gender equality if it was just reversed? You wouldn't know what to think of it unless some weird parallel universe, right? Second thing, as a guy, we're never going to know what it's like to have a vagina. So that being said, And before you judge me or Terrence Popp too harshly, let's see what he's going to say, what I got to say, and I don't really have to say it. This is just a video response.
Brainwash your rotund rumps right out of the gene pool. They've actually convinced you that you can be beautiful and healthy at any size. Wayne.
And you ever notice that when they show articles like 9 ways to remind yourself that you are sexy and beautiful no matter your size, they always show like the loosest representation of an overweight person. It's never the extreme, unless they have to or feel like they have to go to the extremes. And second thing, who gives a fuck how fat you are? If you want to lose weight, then lose weight. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Plain and fucking simple. And here's the best part of it, YouTube. You can't, you literally can't judge someone else for having standards if you have them too. We'll get into that here in a second.
Right up until the point they have to use a shipping container to bury your fat ass at sea with the rest of the whales. Screen 5. Or better yet, they could use explosives, which I'm all for because, waste not, want not. Have you ever seen that video? Well, if you haven't, here it is. And
Then he inserts a clip from November of 1970 where a beached whale has made its way onto the shores and literally it's injured and there's not enough equipment to help it back into the water. So then the scientists and the animal experts have determined that this whale is dying. It's in a lot of pain right now. Just get it done and over with. And then in this news clip, they blow the whale up. Now, comparing human beings to that, it's a little shitty.
I knew this was going on, I would have been up front, center mass, with my poncho watching this live action stupid unfold in front of me.
Campbell's Chunky Chicken Noodle Soup.
Oh my God, that was nasty. I'm not talking about that. I'm kind of talking about her.
Ladies and gentlemen, meet Megan Fisher. Teacher, serial bad decision maker, calorie cadaver, and can't understand normal thinker. Wah.
And guess what? Despite the fact that you could put a menu in front of this woman and she would say, okay, body positivity has filled her head with delusions and her yoga pants with cottage cheese. Oh, God.
Plus-size woman says being fat doesn't mean she has to settle for mediocre men.
Well, it kind of does. Maybe mediocre was not the right.
Oh, it kind of does, he says. Depends on how badly you want it. See, men are put into the same predicament. But it's different for men, right? But theoretically speaking, there's old Betsy sitting in the corner having a drink. Easiest gal at the bar. The pussy's been fucked 10 ways till Sunday. It's like tossing a goddamn hot dog down a fucking hallway. She pulls her pants down. It's like, we shopping at Arby's because I see roast beef. We have the meats. And at that point, you're just like, no, I'd rather beat my meat than pound that meat. There are some guys out there that would honestly like, whoa, fuck, she got a mustache thicker than mine. God damn, that just ain't right. But then there's a prettier girl who's a bit more consensual with it. And, yeah, she may take longer to get, but sometimes, I guess it depends on how badly you want it. Do you want to settle for less or have what you want? The idea that people with disabilities or people who are overweight should lower their standards because they're either overweight or they have disabilities is retarded. Oh, Cobra said the R word, which I can say because I have autism. Therefore, I say this as well. It's R word. See what I did there? It's funny. If you have any sort of mental or physical retardation, you should be allowed to say it. Yes.
Word here. The real word is willing. Speaking as a connoisseur of roomy women, I love my 10 to 15 mile an hour front and back bumpers. What can I say? When I was in the Ranger Battalion, they used to call me the Hog Slayer. Hey, shut the up, man. It ain't funny. But once that hourglass figure disappears, it kind of tips the scales in the wrong direction, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah, kind of like when his bank account starts to dwindle and, you know, he's not as rich as he says he was.
And the higher those numbers go on the scale, the less willing men will be. So, Miss Fisher, my advice to you.
Less willing, but I guarantee you there's one dude who had been fucking 20 years and just wants some goddamn pussy. All you gotta do is put a condom on. She's of age. She's consenting. You know, shit. Sometimes you're stuck in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. Well, there's like more dudes than chicks. Not a whole lot of chicks come to town, so you're pretty much just stuck with what you can get. Now, old Miss Jenkins, she's off the market. She's too old. And her husband's a cranky asshole. You know the towns I'm talking about, like 400 fucking people and nothing to do. You're sitting there catching frogs all day, letting them go to entertain yourself. Real small, rural America.
Is try to date surfers because they're good at slapping the thigh and riding the wave and screaming 5.
That joke was a little poor in taste, but my advice to people like Megan Fisher is find you a dude who likes fat chicks and get over it. The myth that fat chicks can't find a decent guy that they want to be with is just like the stereotype that, oh, you're a scrawny ass nerd who plays Call of Duty, and oh, you're a video game nerd. Psh, you're never gonna get a girlfriend. Well, I'm here to fucking tell you that gamer girls do exist, and they are fucking awesome. You got your of age honey sitting on your lap. You wrap your arms around her waist, and you're both sitting there playing video games, and you don't give a fuck who wins. You're just like, hey. Of course, you know how that goes for those scrawny bastards. Ever since Zeke got a girlfriend, he never spends time with us. I know, right? We were supposed to have our Dungeons and Dragons meeting. Damn it. So what does Zeke do trying to be Mr. Cool Guy? He's just like talking to his girlfriend. Hey, do you have any female friends that my guys could, my homies could like hang out with, you know? Because like, yeah, this is really cramping into our alone time. And two things are going to happen. One, you're going to pray to Lucifer that she says yes, and that two, they can keep their shit together and hope they're all as nerdy as she is, and they'll get along just great. But surprise, surprise, it's all chicks who are way more attractive than her, and then they rip on her for having a nerdy boyfriend because women are catty towards each other.
Even if Miss Fisher doesn't teach math, I'm pretty sure she can solve for X. The dating market has been decimated by the pink taxidermy.
No, the dating market has been saturated with double standards. If we as men reject women for being too fat, we get called typical men, we get called shallow, and we're just pigs. But, to quote Terrence Popp, if women reject us for being too fat, it's not seen as body shaming. It's seen as, well, go to the gym and lose some weight, you fat ass. Nice dad bod. How many bags of Doritos do you eat? Because if we rejected women for being too fat, then they lost their shit over it, started calling us a typical guy, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, they see a chick on Instagram who's like 4 times harder than she is, and then she has this compelling urge to slut shame the other chick because, one, she gets more attention from the guys than she does, And two, in her mind, being a real woman means you don't put makeup on. And this chick's just got this crazy look going for Instagram, doing her thing, and they're both slut shaming each other. And it's just like, here's the thing. It's your body. Do what the fuck you want to do with it. You want to be fat and you want to be fat, go for it. You want to put makeup on. You want to shave your head in some weird ass fucking mohawk and dye it 4 different colors. Who cares, dude? That's my advice for chicks like Amy, or not Amy, excuse me, Megan over here is, find you a guy who loves to cook and loves fat chicks, and I guarantee you'll never be unhappy. You call me an ass for saying that, but regrettably, both genders like food. Food is delicious. So regardless if you're fat or not, try to find someone who knows how to cook. And knowing how to cook is good because it helps you survive and then potentially attract a potential mate. Because they'll be like, oh, hey, this person's a good cook. Oh, fucking A.
People, if you know what I mean. There are so many pink taco stands giving away free samples.
Well, that's just it. Yeah. If you're giving it away too easily, you may have a lot of self-respect, but most guys aren't going to respect you. Ladies, you got to make that man work for it, man. Just give that shit away. Psh. Fellas, you got to make her work for it, man. You got to, you know what I'm saying? And if you're with the right person, it'll just click so beautifully, right? But if you give something away for free, eventually it loses its value. This is why I charge money for my wands on Etsy. Off topic.
It's kind of like Saturday at Costco. Newsflash for you, ladies. You give something away for free, you take its value. Sorry. But, shocker of all shockers, people who believe in the wage gap and the pink tax, which I've debunked multiple times, links in the description, they just can't seem to grasp this basic economic fact.
Here's an economic fact. The wage gap still does exist in certain parts of the world. You know what I'm saying? Like the Middle East. You know what? No, if you're living in a Western society, for the most part, the wage gap doesn't really exist. But there were still small towns in America where it do, and it's been that way for a long time. The same small town that I referenced earlier, just to, you know what I'm saying? We're talking like Midwest small, where my local Wyoming Nights at. Oh. Nothing wrong with that, man, but I'm just saying, like, at some point you'd have to be like, man, sometimes you might move on to a smaller location because it's quieter. Or sometimes you just want to get the fuck out and do something with your life, you know, which we're about to find out. Is exactly what this Megan Fisher chick wanted to do. She wanted a fresh start, so she moved to New York City, and it just worked out for her. And when it comes to the whole body positive movement, there are pros and cons, YouTube. The fat acceptance movement was started because there were some people who were just stuck overweight their whole life. They can't change it, do nothing. They've exercised, nothing works. The only options some of these people have are going to be liposuction or gastric bypass. And, you know, it sucks. Having to find clothes that don't fit, having people look at you funny and judge you like you're gross. I mean, seriously, it's ridiculous. But there is a double standard to that. And it may be unfair, but it's the truth. If some dude in his 40s walks up to a bunch of smoking hot college chicks that are at the mall, his guts sticking out of his shirt, he's got more hair in his stomach than he does on his head, sitting there picking Cheetos crumbs out of his belly button, walks up to a chick and says, and I quote, "Y'all look more delicious than a Twinkie. You want to come down to my mom's basement and play some Nintendo 64? I got Duck Hunt. Maybe we can make some Tostitos pizza rolls." Sure, a lot of chicks are going, no, thank you. And if they reject him because he's creepy and fat, no one says shit, right? And that's understandable because guys are the same fucking way, dude. If we got a chick that's just creeping us out or, she's not our type, it's like, whoa, no. The only difference is that if men try to be super aggressive with their flirting, their privilege gets checked. Women do it, it's encouraged. And don't get mad at that to an extent. If you're single, it just makes it that much easier for you as the man to figure out what she wants. If women are allowed to be openly abrasive with their flirting, geez.
When 100% of women are trying to sell tainted goods in an oversaturated market to a select clientele of alpha males that make up maybe 5% of your target demographic, you're not getting top dollar for a box of Hot Pockets, especially when they're full of mystery meat and cheese whiz. But put that clearance sticker away, gentlemen. She's still entitled to the very best because my girl power and reasons win.
And anything less than that.
And here's some cold, harsh truth. And the best part of it is like I said, women are totally allowed to have standards. They might get judged slightly for it on occasion, but the truth of it is men get judged 100% for having standards. So, yeah. And believe me, there's just as much pressure for guys to have the perfect body as there is for women. It's just shaped differently. Women get a lot of crap for their boob size, their butt size, and their hip size. Guys get a lot of crap for their muscle size, their dick size. And do they got six-pack abs? Are they 6 feet tall? Do they got a six-figure income?
That is unacceptable because they have high standards and they won't settle for anyone.
Yes, women are allowed to have high standards, but men aren't, simply because they have a pussy. What? You may not like that, fellas, but trust me, there's a lot of crap that women have to put up with because of the fact that they're women. So, you could be understanding to enough to be like, you know what? They got their struggles. I can't begin to imagine what that's like. So you sympathize with them. Oh, that's why it's called being a simp, because you sympathize with women. Oh, that's funny. Cobra made a joke. Huh. But then, of course, you hear what Megan has to say, and you're just like, all righty then.
So I have to ask for a friend, when you're slugging it out with 19 other chicks for a shot at that one top-tier dude, who really doesn't have to settle for mediocrity? With that being said, holy shit, I've already drank my allotment of calories. I'll need to pour another one. Let us be
supporting what?
So pour another one, because I'm about to finish this one. I do appreciate y'all tuning in to watch the King Cobra JFS live video. Can body positivity be a bad thing? if it's abused for the wrong purposes. There are some people that say if you're encouraging people to be body positive, you're encouraging them to be fat. And I'm like, that's a stretch. Food's delicious. Let's not kid ourselves. Food is freaking delicious, especially around the holidays, dude. Turkey, stuffing, yeah. But here's the thing of it, you two. Food's delicious, beer's delicious, alcohol's delicious, candy is delicious, junk food is delicious. And I've seen me do it. I've eaten a whole party-sized bag of Doritos, nacho cheese flavor in one sitting. That's a bit excessive, but I've seen me do it. And then both women and men are sick and tired of being told about how imperfect they are. How we're all just cogs in the machines and how we're imperfect and we can't do nothing right. So we sit there and stuff our faces with jelly-filled donuts, mozzarella sticks, and we indulge in that. It makes us feel naughty and guilty, like we're doing something bad. She pulls out the strawberry cheesecake drizzled with chocolates. Oh. As it so happens, I do have another drink for this occasion. I've been trying to get Patreon set up. And I got to a point, but I still can't quite figure it out. So we'll get that figured out as soon as we can. I need to get up early tomorrow so I can finish cleaning the old place and at least get some more of it done, I know for a fact that when men are told they can't have standards, but then you laugh at a woman who wants to have them, like, who are you to judge? If you were the one in her shoes, you'd be saying the same thing. Or trying what you could. So we got ourselves a fruit punch. The juice is loose. The juice is loose. I tried the blackberry one. That blackberry is pretty delicious. This fruit punch one ain't too bad either. 14% alcohol. Yeah, there we go. That'll kill some brain cells. This stuff is for people's 21 and up. That's why the live stream got age restricted.
Again.
A couple things. One, Terrence Pop, thank you for your service. Rock on, man. America. Two, I'm reminded of that one scene in Austin Powers where Fat Bastard says, in a society that demands perfection, your sense of right, wrong, and fair and unfair will always be tragically skew. And then he rips a juicy Asperger's fart, and then Austin Powers says, did you just soil yourself, maybe? Just sound a little wet at the end, did it? Let's have an analysis of wafting. Oh, that could gag a maggot. Oh, even Stink would say that stinks. Yeah, because I'm 30% Scottish, can I honestly say that Fat Bastard character is cultural appropriation? Don't go there, Cobra. No, it'd be cultural appropriation if Fat Bastard was wearing a Minnesota Vikings helmet. Oh, boy. So, yes, we're doing our friendly little video response to the evil truth behind body positivity, Redonkulous.com, featuring the one, the only, Terrence Pop. And some of you might think he's a bit old-fashioned or sexist, but that's your opinion. Let's just get into it.
Yeah.
A plus-size woman has insisted that she won't lower her standards in love and relationships simply because of her size.
Okay, what?
Skip it.
Teacher, make...
Okay, so Megan Fisher is a plus-size woman who has insisted that she will not lower her standards in love and relationships simply because of her size. Teacher Megan Fisher, 29, worked hard to feel comfortable in her own skin. And while others may judge her appearance, she's confident that she deserves more than just a mediocre guy. Good for her. You know what? That is good for her. I get judged all the time for dressing goth. And then when people find out I'm autistic on top of it, they're like, Cobra, you should lower your standards. I'm like, fuck off. Women don't have to lower their standards, so neither should I. That's called gender equality. And really, if you're in her predicament, you really only got a couple options: accept it, try to fix it, or don't change a goddamn thing and have higher standards. Like, who gives a fuck, dude? You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just it. There were women out there who were less heavy set than this chick is, who also have higher standards. Like, at the end of the day, that just means they can't bitch when we have standards. That's only fair. You know? But all is fair in love and war. Gain the tactical advantage. That's right. With coupon code King Cobra, you can get 15% off your next order directly through the Grondike Soap website and get yourself some tactical soap. I ordered 5 bars just recently, and definitely do an unboxing when it gets here. I ordered 5 bars of my favorite scent, the Bond Original. Yes. For years, women have been seducing us with perfumes, makeup, and tight red dresses, and Victoria's Secret push-up bras. And now us men can even the playing field with some tactical soap. But let's be real, it don't take much to get a man horny, because we're simple, right? Shit, you show up to the bar, jeans and a t-shirt with your hair in a ponytail, dressed very casual. If a guy digs you, he'll buy you a drink. Here's the best part, though, YouTube. You ever see a guy's night at the bar? Unless you and your buddies are having a beer night? No, it's usually ladies' nights. There's a reason why they do that crap. If they can attract a bunch of chicks to their bar, it might attract some dudes who see the place hopping with chicks, and they're like, hey. It's a way they can use the system to get people to come to their bar. So chicks end up drinking with half off because, they're hoping to see half of their clothes off later, if you catch my drift. Mm-hmm. But chicks are so good at manipulating that they can literally pretend to be interested. This poor bastard thinks he's going to get some pussy, and then she makes some bullshit excuse like her friends on her, and needs her female companionship assistance, whatever. And out the door she goes, she calls a cab, and she got to drink for free. Men, we got to try harder than that shit. We don't drink for free. Fuck out of here unless you're a celebrity. And honestly, I respect that because that's boss, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless the dude is super fucking attractive and he, if a dude tries offering dick to get what he wants at the bar, it ain't gonna fly. Ooh-wee.
Megan Fisher, 29, worked hard to feel comfortable in her own skin, and while others may judge her appearance, she's confident that she deserves more than just a mediocre guy. Good for her.
Megan, don't get me wrong. You're allowed to have whatever standards you want. I do not care. But
You cared enough to make a video about it that's like 24 minutes long. Side note, the chicks he be choosing for the segments, he goes, but there's always some hot chick. I'm like, damn it, dude.
men, well, they're allowed to have standards too, so.
Since when? Since when are men allowed to have standards? The fuck out of here, dude. Depends on the situation and the person and how easily offended they are. Ridiculous. 14% alcohol by volume fruit punch. It's red, so I guess we're taking the red pill lens to go with it.
So, good luck.
Number 1, Megan tried everything to lose weight.
Wait for it.
Throughout her teens and
Okay, so Megan tried everything to lose weight. Throughout her teens and early 20s, Megan says she went to great lengths to try and slim down, doing everything from the Atkins, keto, and paleo diets to even trying to starve herself to hopefully drop weight. Nothing was working, and she felt miserable and knew she needed to make a change. Well, especially, to be fair, YouTube, women are put underneath a hell of a lot of pressure to be their prettiest, and it starts when they're teenagers, and then they just grow into it as adults. And men are put underneath the same similar pressure, like, you gotta have muscles, you gotta have a hairy chest, stupid shit like that. So to a degree, it's similar amongst both genders. But according to Ernst Pop, they focus on it when it happens to women because it fits the narrative. If women are victimized in our society all the time, it creates this narrative that men are just assholes. When assholes exist in both genders.
In her early 20s, Megan says she went to great lengths to try and slim down, doing everything from the Atkins, keto, and paleo diets to even trying to starve herself to hopefully drop weight. Nothing was working, and she felt miserable and knew she needed to make a change.
Gee, that's funny, because it says she tried everything. You want to know what's never mentioned once in that whole paragraph? Exercise. Wow!
Wow, indeed. Well, this is where the argument gets a little tricky. Because if you've tried everything except exercise, at that point, you're probably thinking, in Megan's defense, you're probably thinking it's probably not going to work because you tried everything else. But for the sake of the argument, you didn't try it, and, regrettably, food is delicious, and this is a point that Terrence Pop makes in the video. You literally have to burn off twice the amount of calories you take in to lose weight. So if you take in 40 to 50, 60 plus calories before your workouts, then you're going to have to work off and do exercises that burn off half of those calories in order to maintain what you have or lose it.
He's right. Losing weight is a game of numbers, and you guys know I love math, especially when the one likes to go into the zero, if you know what I mean. If you actually want to lose.
Speaking of body shaming and losing weight, let me grab a delicious, unhealthy slice of pizza. Because this Boglin's hungry.
This way, you need to burn more calories than you stuff in your meat hole. That's it. But if you suffer from Tourette's of the elbow and you throw all kinds of calories in your face and you don't work out, it doesn't matter what you eat. Bottom line, dieting without exercise is kind of like Laurel without Hardy or Pinky without the brain. Just saying.
Howdy, partner. The Brave browser protects your privacy and gets you back in the saddle, making it safe to surf the web again, ad-free. Even Vladimir Putin probably uses it. If you do choose to see ads, you get paid for your attention in cryptocurrency. If you're still using YouTube on Google Chrome, then my pet horse is laughing at you. Don't let the stallions of Silicon Valley spy on you and mount you like a prize pony. Download Brave by clicking on the link down below.
Number 2, just before she was due to get a gastric bypass.
Number 2, just before Megan was due to get a gastric bypass surgery. Just before Megan was due to get gastric bypass surgery, she discovered body positivity. Well then. Inspired by the likes of Tess Holliday and other women in the body positivity movement, and realized that there was nothing wrong with her or the way she was. Being 300 pounds had nothing to do with her worth, and she was tired of feeling like it did. She never had plus-size role models in her life growing up. She never had someone who was plus-size, who was so successful, saying your current body is not only fine, you can celebrate it, celebrate you. And Tess did that for her, she explained. Knowing how much Tess has helped me with her, So Tess has helped her with the journey. She made her realize that if you post a picture of yourself normalizing things, society says fat girls can't do things like wearing a bikini and dating attractive men. Her goal is to be the role model she needed when she was younger. Let's finish this pizza and we'll unpack it. Honestly, I think women do need more role models that are positive in their life. Because you look at the way the media is saturated with all these superheroes and what have you. Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, the Hulk. Does the Hulk represent a fragile male ego, quick to temper, gets angry real easily? I mean, 300 pounds. That's heavy on anyone, dude. You know, And no, being fat is not going to stop you from doing things like wearing a bikini and dating attractive men. Well, it won't stop you from it won't stop you from wearing a bikini, but you may have a harder time finding the guys you want because our society is, how you say, judgmental. And we're not even halfway through this video, and yeah.
Bypass, she discovered body positivity.
There it is. We're off to the races. Cheers.
Inspired by the likes of Tess Holliday and other women in the body positivity movement, she realized that there was nothing wrong with her the way she was.
I'm sure there are plenty of cardiologists out there and dietitians who would love to disagree with you.
Being 300 pounds had nothing to do with her worth, and she was tired of feeling like it did.
No offense, Miss Fisher. I'm sure you're a lovely woman and your students probably love you as well. But 300 pounds, it has nothing to do with your worth. But 300 pounds in the reverse cowgirl, that's a fractured pelvis. Any dude out there watching who has tried to turn a flapper into a spinner, they know exactly what I'm talking about. It never ends well. And worst case scenario, guess what? You're in the chiropractor's office.
I never had plus-size role models in my life growing up.
Well, that might have to do with the fact that most of them die between 40 and 50. Screen 5.
I never had someone who was plus-size who was so successful saying, your current body is not only fine, you can sell it.
No. What it has to do with is the goddamn fashion industry running these models down the runway who look like Skeletor walking down the runway. That became the in look. And no one telling these women that that's not healthy, that's an unrealistic body standard. Which led to generations of women having body image issues, eating disorders. So while some men might think it's ridiculous that a woman gets triggered by a store mannequin that isn't plus sized, or, you know, a prettier woman, the thing you need to realize, dudes go through the same crap. Being told our dicks aren't big enough, our muscles aren't big enough. And you know that shit's annoying as fuck when it happens. That's exactly the kind of crap that women have to go through with their own bodies. And because there's this pressure for women to always be their prettiest, this is why, you know, we have these moments where women feel so boldly enough to say, I don't care if I'm a fucking fat ass. This is what I am. Take it or leave it. You know, and there are people out there who are way skinnier and have more body image issues. Really makes you think, doesn't it? Yep.
Celebrate you. And Tess did that for me, she explained.
And that is why we made a whole episode out of that walking, slathering disaster. Links in the description.
Knowing how much Tess has helped me with my journey made me realize that if I post pictures of myself normalizing things society says fat girls can't do, like wearing a bikini and dating attractive men, my goal is to be the role model I needed when I was younger.
No one...
And I remember the day fondly, scrolling through the internet and seeing a picture of one of my former classmates wearing a black brawn panties with her blonde hair and pigtails. And she captioned the photos with, I'm not ashamed of my curves. You know what I'm saying? She did that because at the time society had this idea of women that they had to be super skinny, and no, dude. But then other women started doing crap like that. And it became a more of a normalized thing to such a degree that now you got people who are on the opposite side, you know what I'm saying? And to be fair, being morbidly obese is just as bad as being too skinny. I mean, what's next? We're going to body positivity movement for smokers. I don't care that this shit could cause cancer, cause me to have a huge hole in my throat. It's my right, and I can't help that I'm addicted to cigarettes. It just tastes so fucking good. No.
Has ever told you not to do those things? Don't get me wrong. We appreciate it when you don't, but we're not going to tell you what to do. But this is the real problem and the main reason we decided to make this episode. When you have 100% of the women out there feeling entitled to the top 5% of men, that's pretty stiff competition, if you know what I mean. Well, stiff for some, half chub for others, and the rest.
Well, that's the thing of it, dude. If women are feeling entitled to the top 5 dudes, whereas dudes are feeling entitled to the hottest chicks, you see where we get the issues that we have amongst ourselves with this dating scene.
You know, playing pool with a piece of rope. That right there is a breeding atmosphere for true frenemies. And your worst frenemies out there will look you right in the face and say,
well, you know, I just have your best interest at heart.
With that in mind, imagine you're a college-educated, wage gap enthusiast, and you know that your best shot at that top shelf dude is to thin the herd. Figuratively, not literally, unfortunate for your dudes out there. So you create a whole woman's movement to keep these overweight wamallows exactly where they are.
Wait, what?
Despite what these women preach, they know a man usually is not going to write a check against the fatty McFat. That by itself thins the herd to about 8 women per top tier dude. But speaking as a former hog slayer, one of the reasons why I hung out with them is they were just f***ing cool. When you're not showered with all kinds of male attention, you have to develop a personality. Now imagine this.
Whether you're showered with attention from the opposite sex or not, you should still develop a personality. You know, because people who are super attractive but have no personality, it's just like,
Those cool overweight chicks lose weight, get healthy, and then they show up. They're going to blow up.
I mean, ouch, that's a really harsh but fair point.
About the rest of those backstabbing and go right to the top of the line. And it doesn't hurt that.
So according to Terrence Popp, the reason why the body positivity movement exists is because skinnier, more attractive women are afraid that ugly, fatter women will lose weight and steal away their men, i.e. more competition. So they feed them with this self-loathing positive bullshit that says you could be healthy at any weight. That could be half of it, but the other half is because, you know, like I said, when you're the fat kid, it sucks. You know, when you're overweight, when you feel like a disgusting pig of yourself, you don't want to eat food even though it looks and smells delicious. And even though the Austin Powers bit was ridiculous, there is some truth to it. In a society that demands perfection, your sense of right and wrong, fair and unfair, would always be tragically skewed.
And if she used to be fat, she's really good at oral fixations that you can help her with, huh, Screen 5? These girl power advocates, they're terrified of that happening. So they develop this entire body.
No, women aren't just terrified of that. Women are terrified of other women getting in their territory. Competition. You know, this is something that men are terrified of too. It's like, oh, great. And the point being is you can interpret the body positive movement however you want. You can say what you want about it. I think it's to help those out there who feel less confident about themselves, feel better about the way they look. However, there are some people out there who choose to be fat on purpose and then demand everyone else just accept it. And these are the kind of assholes that are giving the whole fat acceptance movement a bad name. Like, you're perfectly capable of eating healthy food. You have a nice metabolism, but you just choose to be a lazy, fat slob piece of shit, asshole, fuckhead. People are just inconvenienced by your presence, and then, you know what I'm saying? There are people out there who are going, what, you chose this lifestyle? Fuck you, dude. I wish I could be 200-300 pounds lighter.
The positivity movement to keep them under their thumb, out of sight, and out.
So you're telling me by this logic, the reason why people telling me to lower my standards is because they're afraid of my competition and what I have to offer the dating scene. Sounds about right.
Out of mind. Now, I know there's a baker's dozen of women out there who thumbs down every single one of my videos based strictly on principle. And those women right now are freaking out, ripping out their hair, screaming that that is just not true. Wham! And I'm going to give you an out right now. All of this is strictly my opinion. But if something walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, swims like a duck, tastes good with plum sauce, it's probably a duck. Either that or it's my phone auto-correcting my profanity. Space Ghost.
Number 3, the best dating and relationships advice.
Here we go. Number 3, Megan says the sponsored the best dating relationships advice on the web according to what she said. That's what she said. Bah, ha, 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 ha. She says, check out Relationship Hero, a site where highly trained relationship coaches get your situation and help you accomplish what you want. They help you through complicated and difficult love situations like deciphering mixed signals and getting over breakups or anything else you're worried about. You immediately connect with an awesome coach on text or over the phone in minutes. Just click here. You know, if you're the kind of person that likes to drag y'all's problems into someone else's life, then this would be the perfect site for you. Only you can fix you. No one else can fucking fix you, dude. Ridiculous.
It's on the web, sponsored.
No, thank you. I'm full.
Number 4, moving to New York.
I agree. Fuck online dating. It's a waste of fucking time. Number 4, moving to New York City changed Megan's life. Megan decided to leave her boyfriend and job behind to move to New York for a fresh start. It changed everything as a plus-size woman. Life in New York has been a complete turnaround from how things were in the past. Her life before she moved to New York City could be described as dull. She was unmotivated to make any changes in her life, mostly due to fear, and therefore very unhappy, she said. She was in a miserable job as a bank cashier making low wages. She was living with a boyfriend in a relationship that was not right for her. She was unhappy with her body because she did not know what happiness ever was. Well, if you're in a relationship that doesn't appreciate you, or you're in a job that doesn't appreciate you, and you get a fresh start, the urge to try new things and make your life better becomes easier because you already got over the fear of doing something new, putting some change in your life. But let's see here.
Changed Megan's life.
So did you move into the city with the leftards and psychos, or into the country with the red trash? And I made a whole video about that. Links in the description.
Megan decided to leave her boyfriend and job behind and move to New York for a fresh start.
Called it! Screen 5.
To be fair, dude, you may not know what exactly she's going through. You don't know the kind of boyfriend she's had. You know, you don't know what she's gone through. You're just basing off really, albeit, assumptions. You know, just, yeah.
How many times have we covered this on this show? Most of these women, by the age of 30, had between 2 and 6 guys willing to stick a finger in it and a ring on it, and they just said no.
This is true to some degree, you two, because you'll have 5 or 6 dudes going after the same chick, all willing to put up with her shit just to make it work, and she's just not having it because it's not quite what she's looking for. Damn you two.
Yo, 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 yo.
What's up?
What's up, Josh? How you doing?
Doing good. Richie right in the house. Yeah, buddy.
You didn't want to marry your high school sweetheart because you...
Just doing a live video, man. Got Discord in the background. Yeah.
wanted to go to college.
So,
and,
yeah,
you didn't want to marry your...
Fuck yeah, dude. How's your night going, Richie?
It's going pretty good.
That's good. Sipping on that juice. We got 14% fruit punch. The juice is loose.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? What name brand is that?
It's Juice J series. Just says juice.
Oh, it just says juice. Oh.
Yep. It's
I
cheap
see.
and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
got 14% alcohol and it's delicious. People are like, oh, that beer's
Nice.
for pussies. I like getting of age pussy. Fuck your toxic masculinity.
college, sweetheart, because you wanted to go to grad school. And you couldn't marry the guy in grad school because you wanted to focus on your career. Then you get to the end and when you have exactly what you want, and you...
To be fair, YouTube, there's nothing wrong with focusing on your career before dating. A lot of people make the crap mistake of dating before their career. Now their plans to become a lawyer or a doctor get put on hold because they have kids with their high school sweetheart. Sounds like the story of a lot of people. Then they put their lifelong dreams on hold, start working some dead-end crap corporate job. By the time they're 35, almost 40, they're sitting there telling their wife, honey, I know I'll be home for the anniversary. I don't want to miss it. This is a big one for us. We're doing good here. Oh, golly gee willikers, the boss makes them stay late because they were late for work, because that's just how it works. So now they gotta call their wife and be like, sorry, hon, I'm not gonna be able to make dinner tonight. So by the time they're like 65 or 70 years old, they can be where their boss is at right now with their gold watch going, oh, I did it. I climbed that corporate ladder. I'm just kidding. That's a stereotype. No offense to the elderly community. I actually got mad respect for my elders, man. They have a lot to teach us. They've lived through so much. You might see people who are like 70, 80 years old and they're still working. They're still kicking ass, doing their thing. You know, cheers to the Prince of Darkness. Yeah. Sharon, King Cobra's live on the fucking YouTube again. No.
You throw it away. Well, why don't you just look in the dictionary between shit and syphilis?
Truth of it is, Terrence Pop, this is true for a lot of people. Sometimes when you have what you want, you're just not quite happy. You know, you can have everything in the world you want and still not be happy. So you have to learn to be happy with little or none. This is why when people tell me, Cobra, you need to get laid, you haven't had a girlfriend in 3 years, my response is sex is not a need, it's a want. And if I can't be happy single, then I'm not going to be happy when I'm taken. You know, and everyone gets pressured to date, and when it doesn't work out like it does in the fairy tales, major shocker, people go, you know what, dating sucks, I want to take a break. But then society gives you crap for being single. You know, there were two reasons why dating, as far as the whole being single thing, sucks. One, because being lonely sucks. That's a natural human emotion, fine. But the other half is because society puts way too much pressure on people to date. So even if you're not in the happiest of relationships, you're used to it. So by the time you do break up with that piece of shit, you dish that zero and get yourself a hero. Bonnie Clyde's I Need a Hero. Or Bonnie Taylor, whoever. You know the one I'm talking about. That drove me. Yeah. He's got to be strong and back from the. Yeah, you know the song I'm talking about. Truth be told, you can have everything that you want and still not be happy. You know, I planned on living in my old apartment until I won the lottery and built my dream house. But that term lease kind of fucked that up. So, hey, you know, it just means now that my current landlords are still having me when I win the lottery, then they get a fat chunk of change. Yeah. That really sucks too, because if I win the fucking lottery, my old landlord's going to be going, oh, I should not have kicked Cobra out. Damn. But when freaking Megan, when Megan talked about getting a fresh start, I get that, you know. I've been living at my old apartment for well over 10 years, and I needed to change the scenery. And the right girl will come along. You just got to be patient. You know, the right person, I should say. For those of you out there, like if you're a female looking for, you know, yeah.
You won't find love there, but you'll find sympathy.
It changed everything.
So moving to New York changed your life. You know, I'm glad it did, to be honest, you two. I really am. Sometimes a fresh start's good for people.
Plus-size woman life in New York has been a complete turnaround from how things were in the past. My life before I moved to NYC could be described as dull. I was unmotivated to make any changes in my life, mostly due to fear, and therefore very unhappy, she said.
You just said before you moved to New York, you were unmotivated and unhappy. And you embraced a girl power movement that states you don't have to change and you're fine how you are. So how exactly did that change everything if, I don't know, nothing changed? What?
Well, could you imagine living in a society as a fat person? You've been fat your whole goddamn life, and every day you get told you're disgusting, you're a fatty, you're this and that. No, you can't. And then to have someone out of nowhere just come along and say, you know what? Fuck those assholes. You want to be fat and you're happy with it, then do it up, man. But if you're more than capable of losing weight and you choose to be fat on purpose, don't complain about the struggles. I'm just saying.
Well, I suppose things could get better. I mean, they have 24-hour Chinese places, and there are like 8 million people packed in there, so you probably, have better odds. On the bright side, if you get super lonely, you can always do this. You got on to those naughty clubs with the triple X's where they have all the books and movies. You go back, and you just kind of lean up against the wall with a hole in it and go, ha, ha, there you go.
I was in a miserable job as a bank cashier making low wages.
This is kind of like I said earlier in the live stream. Point Dexter getting Cheetos dust all over his pocket protector, thinks he's never going to find the video gamer girl of his dreams. Then when it happens, he's just like, holy fucking shit. Believe me, when you find a chick that plays video games with you, it's fucking awesome. Like that one song, I got $20 in my pocket. This is fucking awesome. That's exactly how you fucking feel when you find that gamer girl of your dreams, right? Like, I got a gamer girlfriend. This is fucking awesome. All my nerd friends are super jealous. I'm hitting bongs and smoking that grass while I tap that sweet of age ass. This is video games and ganja. That'd be a really horrible. Oh, what? Because the cliche that stoners play video games. Right.
I was living with a boyfriend in a relationship that was not right for me.
In retrospect, you had to justify your bad decision now that you're unhappy. You know what they say, hindsight's 20/20, but with an ass like that, you probably need a mirror screen 5.
I was unhappy with my body because I did not know what happiness even was.
Bad news, honey. You still don't win.
Well, happiness comes and goes, man. You figure out what you want in life and you make it happen. And even if, YouTube, even if you get what you want and you're still not happy, even when you do have what you want, sometimes you may end up unhappy because it's not quite what you want. So you figure it out. That's just the fun of life. The juice is loose.
Now you're blaming everyone else for your bad decisions, and
This is where not knowing what you want has its negative consequences, because you make bad decisions because you don't know what you want. Blaming everyone else for your problems, like, oh yeah, you're sick of men. Because we're all just assholes, apparently.
Suddenly it's making you happy. That'll make you happy for 7 to 10 minutes, 220 pumps each, between meals. But at the end of the day, you're still Fatty McFat, and no amount of self-love is going to win over someone else's. By the time you get to 40 and you realize that the girl power advocates lied to you, well, it's too late then.
And all the feelings you weigh might have given you a soft place to sit as your arteries hardened, but every main course gets served up with a cold slab of greasy disappointment for dessert. That is one bitter recipe for cooking up a black dead heart.
Kind of like me, in fact.
Here's the thing of it, YouTube. I don't even know at this point. Like, a Jewish hits the brain, and I'm just like, here's the thing of it. I might have to rewind this because I'm just.
Hey, you're still Fatty McFat, and no amount of self-love is going to win over someone else's. But
And you know what? You may say that, but you know what? Things happen for a reason, right? Maybe her self-love is so inspiring that she finds someone who loves her and it just works. Doesn't happen overnight. Kind of like making a badass wand.
by the time you get to 40 and you realize that the girl power advocates lied to you, well, it's too late then.
And all the feelings you weigh might have given you.
Empowerment in general is a wonderful thing, YouTube. Empowerment in general. Empowering your mind, body, and soul. You take gender out of the equation and you focus on bettering yourself as a person, enlightening and empowering your mind. It's a wonderful thing.
A soft place to sit as your arteries harden, but every main course gets served up with a cold slab of greasy disappointment for dessert. That is one bitter recipe for cooking up a black dead heart.
Kind of like me, in fact. I just killed off my honey liquor. Oh, I'm going to miss you. This bottle was more faithful to me than my ex-wife, and infinitely more tasty. I need your help, gentlemen, to help me replace this bottle. So go to redonkulous.com/donate and send me a couple shekels.
It is no secret that men have become the cultural scapegoats of the Western world. When you're born, they cut the tip off, and then when you reach adulthood, they go for the shaft. If you're sick and tired of this Marxist bullshit, pick up a copy of The Rules. Reclaiming your freedom, your manhood.
Well, you know why men have become the modern day scapegoat? Because men were the ones responsible for this crap. Because let's be real about it, and here comes the feminazi feminist rant. Wah, okay, sue me, I don't care. How many fucking times have you heard women's rights? No, seriously. Because obviously women were not the ones not giving their own gender the right to not vote or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're telling me that women are the ones responsible for denying their own rights.
And your sanity. This is the book you need.
But at the same time, blaming men who have had nothing to do with the situations which you're bitching about isn't going to make the problems of sexism and gender inequality go away.
Need to start winning. Download a free PDF or buy the printed version right now. Links are in the description.
Number 5, the more she began to love herself, the happier she became.
Number 5, Megan continued. She would never have worn a bikini until she moved to New York and found her new mindset of self-love. In high school, she was so self-conscious of her body and truly believed she would never be able to have a boyfriend until she lost weight. She was too afraid to talk to guys in high school because of how she felt about her body at the time. This is the story about a lot of guys in high school who are too afraid to talk to girls because they're not muscly enough, or maybe their dick's not big enough, you know.
This is probably the only thing in this article I actually agree with. There's nothing wrong with loving yourself. In
No.
fact, you're the only other person that you're stuck with for the rest of your life.
Exactly. You are stuck with yourself for the rest of your life, so you might as well learn to love yourself to some degree. I'm not saying to like a narcissistic, egotistical level, but, you know, enough to just help you skate through life a little bit. Yeah.
And it makes things a lot easier when you do that.
Megan continued. I would never have worn a bikini until I moved to New York and found my new mindset of self-love.
Whoa! You wear a bikini now?
Yeah, you got a
No. Just no.
problem with that?
No, but I've never gone swimming with you.
Space Ghost.
In high school, I was so self-conscious of my body and truly believed I would never be able to have a boyfriend until I lost weight. I was too afraid to talk to guys in high school because of how I felt about my body at that time.
So let's boil this down. You had a man who loved you and accepted you for who you...
Again, dude, you don't know the story of which she goes through. Like, I'm not here to judge anyone in this situation, but she might have had a boyfriend that said he loved her, but maybe it just quite wasn't what she was looking for. You know, kind of like one of your ex-wives. You said you loved each other, but golly, it just didn't work out. Which, when you haven't had pussy in 3 years versus you see some guy who just got divorced and his ex-wife took him to the cleaners and he's struggling to make it, all of a sudden you're going, you know, being single ain't so bad after all.
You were, and was willing to split the grocery bill with you. Listen, I'm not even going to get into that, but you left him so you could go feel comfortable in a bikini. Are you kidding me?
Number 6, some men seem to think she'll settle for it.
This is a lot to unpack, and we're almost at the home stretch. We do one more little short video and wrap up this stream on YouTube. I do appreciate y'all tuning in to watch this shenanigans. Number 6, some men seem to think Megan will settle for anything less, but they're wrong. Megan is regularly messaged by guys on social media where she actively posts selfies and other pictures of herself living her best life. Unfortunately, not all of them are up to par, but seem to think that she owes them something because of her size. I think some men believe they can message fat girls and that they, the women, are obligated to talk to them just because they're giving us attention, but they're so wrong. She instead insisted fat women do not have to settle for any man, that they have plenty of amazing options. Okay, this is where we kind of take a little steep dive off the crazy end. Because if you're going on Instagram bragging about your best life, then of course you're gonna get people who are like, oh, maybe this chick's got money, hey, whatever. You're gonna attract scum fucks when you talk about this best life you have on Instagram. What is it with people on social media anymore? They're just like, look how much money I have. Here's a picture. They post a picture of their fucking Lamborghini on Instagram, like, and then they flex their muscles, like, look at me, I'm flexing the muscles and my cash at the same time. Shit-shing. Get out of here. If you persuade the internet and people around you that you're this person living their best life, you might attract some weirdos. I'm just saying, the internet's full of weirdos.
Anything but they're wrong.
Oh, for now. Give it 6 years, honey. And then you'll pretty much settle for anything, to include a turkey baster with some sperm in it, screen fire.
Negative.
And that's a little harsh, but true to an extent. Going back to the reference I made earlier in the video about you live in a small town with like 500, 600 people. And not a whole lot to do. And one of the chicks from the 2 counties over comes over for a beer. She ain't the prettiest, but goddamn it, she's horny and willing, and she's of age, sitting there slamming Budweisers. And you're looking to get some, especially if you live in a town where there's more dudes than there are chicks. That's what they call a pecking order. I tell you what, because a bunch of peckerheads trying to get some. And to be fair, it'd be the same way with chicks, dude. I'm not even joking. If it was a small town full of nothing but chicks and less dudes, it'd be the same fucking story, dude. Some rugged cowboy comes by from 2 counties over, and all of a sudden,
It is regularly messaged by guys on social media.
If it's after 1 a.m., let's be honest, that's when all standards and scruples, they're out the window.
Where she'll actively post selfies and other pictures of herself living her best life.
In other words, these men are responding to a lie. Anyone who has ever used online dating knows the biggest lie ever told is average body type. And I made a whole video about it. Link.
Yeah, that is the goddamn truth, because online dating is like going to a used car salesman. You're promised something awesome for your life, but it ends up giving you a lot of trouble. The dealer's sitting there going, hey, check out this new, practically brand new 2012 Honda Civic. No dents or dings, no high miles, easy to drive. Just take care of her and she'll take care of you. That's pretty much online dating in a fucking nutshell. And then when you show up to the dealer, you're just like, oh, this isn't what was advertised. I've been lied to. And here's the thing of it. Sometimes cars have potential, and people are no different. Where a lot of people are going to see them and go, no, I don't want to deal. This person's got problems. No. Or do you want to be that one person that fixes them, brings them back to their original self, just for them to go, oh, you know what? I appreciate the relationship we're in, but you don't make me happy anymore. Bye. So you spend all this goddamn time building them up just for them to fucking break up with you. That is dating in a nutshell. That's why a lot of people prefer to be single. It's like, oh, that's real fucking nice. You spend all this time building up that person and their confidence, and then when you've been single for a long enough time, you find someone better, and lo and behold, they're sitting there struggling, going, oh shit, I lost the best thing I ever had.
Links in the description. Overweight women know exactly how to photograph themselves so they appear 100 pounds lighter. Ordinary people.
To that, ladies and gentlemen, oh, I farted. Smells like Asperger's. Oh my God. To that, I would say be honest with the person. A little bit of honesty goes a long way. Because how would you feel if you were going on a social media dating website and you're thinking to yourself, man, how the fuck did I score with this total hottie? Oh my God, dude. And you're sitting there like, you don't know what to do. You're just nervous. You're excited. Then the person shows up and they're not what they said their picture was. You'd be a bit disappointed. So if you wouldn't like it being done to you, then don't do it to someone else. It's the golden rule, treat others the way you want to be treated. When people go out of their way to harass me, I harass them back. You know? Because they're telling me that's how they want to be treated. I, on the other hand, don't go out of my way to do that shit. Because it just seems ridiculous.
Do a selfie like this. Overweight women? There you go. This is what they want to show you, and this is what they really look like. Just saying.
Unfortunately, not all of them are up to par, but seem to think that she owes them something because of her size.
I'll take psychological projection for 500, Alex. Newsflash, honey. These men don't think you owe them anything because of your size. They've just learned through experience. You know what I mean. Roomy women, they're desperate for attention. Sorry, not sorry. They tend to feel insecure because they are not what they see on the cover of magazines. And contrary to popular belief, men
You know why heavier set women are desperate for attention? Because society tells them you're ugly, you're fat, you're disgusting. Very few men go for the heavier set chicks. Which, if that's what you're not into, then fine. But just don't be a dick about it. That's all I'm saying. Meantime, you know, and this is kind of how I feel about it. A lot of women will turn me down because of my trolls and because of my Asperger's. And so when I get a woman paying attention to me, it actually feels nice. So to some degree, I kind of get it. And the chick could be like, oh, hey, how you doing? You know, it could be a chick I talk to at the bar. If I see her there, she gives me a hug and I'm happy. You know, she doesn't have to fucking touch me. Just acknowledging my existence is enough. I'm happy for that. I'm grateful, if anything. You know, and if you think I'm simping too hard for female companionship, then you're the problem with our society.
have jack nor shit to do with that fact.
If you are so mentally stunted that just looking at a picture of a fit, attractive woman triggers you and flips switches up in your thinking meat, you've got a real big problem.
And trust me, as a dude, you can't tell me. You go to the movie theater, you haven't had pussy in 4 months, you're like, meh. You're fresh from a breakup, the last chick you dated was a complete bitch. But you're like, nah. You still want the companionship, though, because that's a natural reaction. Meanwhile, some action-packed movies playing, so you go to see it because you like action-packed movies. And you see 3 chicks sitting in front of you who are like 4 times harder than you are, way the fuck out of your league. And you're like, I'm not even going to try. You just, you sit down with your extra large popcorn, extra butter, big old plate of nachos, fucking soda pop, and some chocolate-covered cookie dough raisin bites for later. Because, hey, trying to be healthy because raisins are healthy, right? And the movie starts playing, and you're like, action-packed movie. And then, of course, the lead role in the action-packed movie is some dude who's good-looking and ripped. And the explosion happens, his shirt rips off, and all those three chicks in front of you are wetting their panties, just going nuts over it. And you instantly, as a dude, will feel so insecure about the way you look. You're like, you won't admit it, but subconsciously you're thinking it. You're like, dude, if I was ripped like him, I could probably get chicks like the one sitting in front of me.
Trust me, men are the furthest thing from that problem. All we really want.
Well, that's more society than men's fault, so I kind of agree with that. Yeah.
Is a healthy hip to waist ratio. Everything else, that's arbitrary. If you like to shoot guns and you can cook and you like hanging out with a dude and his friends, we'll overlook a lot of shit.
Bullshit. There are some guys that are like, wait a minute, you like hanging out with dudes more than you like hanging out with chicks. How do I know you're not going to cheat on me? Because even women will say that being friends with a dude is much easier. Well, of course it's much easier when dudes are willing to go out of their way to get you shit, no matter how inconvenient it is. Just to hear you laugh, just to hear you giggle, or a simple, oh, thank you, you're the sweetest. And women want to say that we abuse our privilege. That is fucking hilarious. And I respect that because that's hustle 101, my dudes. Just so you can go home like a sad little simp and jack off and go, oh my God, she touched my arm. Oh my God, female interaction. Sounds like me right about now when a chick gives me a hug at the bar. Ha! That's how much I don't give a fuck about my dry spell. I'm able to rip on it and laugh at myself because that's honestly their loss, not mine.
Online dating has already proved that women are incredibly shallow.
Wait. So according to this study on OkCupid.com, women are more shallow than men, yet men are the ones that are seen as shallow. What? Okay, my brain is short-circuiting right now. What? My whole life I've been told that men are shallow because some guys like girls with nice big round boobs or a nice ass, but nobody fucking questions it when a chick has standards like that. And I've always found it infuriating, but I'm like, that's life, dude. As a guy, you can't do shit about it. If I was a female and the genders were reversed and I bitched about it, it would get changed. No matter how ridiculous the standard was. And that's just pussy privilege, man. Gotta respect that. Tell you what. And you respect it because even the biggest sexist pig on the planet would say if they had that kind of power over the opposite sex, they would take it. Which is fucked in itself, YouTube, but
it's not men. So, ladies, you need to figure your shit out.
I think some men believe they can. Message fat girls and then we are obligated to talk to them because they're giving us attention. But they are so wrong, she insisted.
The key words there are I think.
Fat women do not have to settle for any man. We have plenty of amazing options. Too true.
Bullshit!
this is where, like, if at this point you're disgusted by me or Terrence Pop and you can't stand the video, just hit the back button. There you go. But here's the thing of it. To sit there and say that just because she's fat, she doesn't have options, bullshit. It is bullshit, because that's like saying, well, as a dude, your dick's too tiny, so you want to nail that perfect 10 beach blonde bikini model. Might want to lower your standards, Pee Wee Herman. Ha 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 ha. Fuck Elliot Rogers, that fucking psycho piece of shit, fucking dumbass motherfucker, whining because he can't find a blonde girlfriend. Well, several years after this stupid incel cunt decides to pull that crap, there's some blonde on YouTube who's obsessed with him. If he would have had just a little bit more patience and waited patiently and said, you know what, fuck these losers, I got my life to figure out, and I'm just going to do my thing. If he would have said, fuck mass shootings, fuck suicide, and just did his thing, at some point, he would have met that blonde chick that's obsessed with him, making the t-shirts about him, and he would have met up with her in real life. He would have had the blonde chick of his dreams. But no, he became an impatient motherfucker, and blah, blah. Fuck mass shootings. And let's not forget, ladies, that there was a mass shooting with a chick that involved a certain building. So if you want to be a sexist cunt and say men in their mass shootings, well, you can go fuck yourself.
But if you had all of these amazing options available to you, then this article would not exist.
Tough but fair.
So out of curiosity, I decided to take a gander at her Instagram because I wanted to see how those pictures of her dating attractive men were coming along. You know, get a look at all those amazing options she has. It won't surprise you to know that I came up emptier than a bucket of Rocky Road on Galentine's Day.
Galentine's Day. Instead of calling it Valentine's Day, it's called Galentine's Day because you're drowning your sorrows in gallons of beer and ice cream. That's like 2 months away. I can't wait. Get your drinks set, ladies and gentlemen, because your boy ain't going to have a Valentine's Day for that stupid fucking holiday. I can almost guarantee it. That holiday's a waste of time. And for the most part, dating is a waste of time. Because one, we all die alone, regardless if you date or not. So what's the fucking point? Just so you can say you got your dick wet for a couple years while you still could. Then when you lose the ability to have sex, all you can do is bitch and nag at each other until one of you dies. And then you're so overcome with emotion that you die right after they do. Dating. Just so you can have kids that never appreciate you and never come around when you get super old. Fun. Just so you can watch your kids bitch about dating like you did when you were their age. And go, oh, I know, I was there.
Number 7, some people may not get it, but Megan doesn't care.
Number 7, Megan doesn't care. As she so adequately puts it, if it makes you happy, then go for it. You truly cannot make everyone happy, even if you're wearing a large paper bag hiding all of your curves. Okay, curves would be a stretch, and that was a really horrible pun. So why not wear something that makes you feel amazing? Good advice all around. You can follow Megan on Instagram here. Okay, you know what? I agree with that to an extent. Like, if you want to wear a bikini, even though God help us, you shouldn't, and it makes you feel happy, go for it. You know, if someone wants to get grossed out by it or say, "Woman, what the good God in Lucifer's name are you doing?" Just no. Fuck them. Okay, you want to dress how you want. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean you should, but you always see the one mother with way too many kids shopping at Walmart, and her clothes are like way too small because she's trying to be sexy, like she's still in her 20s, but she's approaching 40. And it says sassy on her pants, and you're just like, no, 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 Donna. Oh, no, 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 damn. I gotta stop taking baths around Peter's shenanigans.
At least that's one thing we have in common here, huh? Cheers.
As she so eloquently puts it,
To be fair, ladies, you wouldn't want to see a fat, overweight, 40-year-old something dude with a hairy-ass fucking gut walking down the beach in a fucking man thong, packing a tiny-ass wang and a super hairy ass. You'd be sitting there going, ugh. But I'm the asshole because I don't want to see, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can still wear clothes that make you feel sexy, but like, dude, come on. Like, narcissism is just as bad as too much confidence. Like, bro. In fact, they fall neck and neck. Let's start petitioning for smokers' lives. I swear, dude. We got a fat acceptance movement. Okay, how about a smokers' acceptance movement? Like, I know my cigarettes stink. I know they cause cancer to me and the people around me. I know society views it as a disgusting, filthy habit. But I don't care. I demand rights because, you know, but I'm not going to stoop to that level. That was sarcasm.
if it makes you happy, then go for it. You truly cannot make everyone happy, even if you're wearing a large paper bag hiding.
You're right about that. You cannot make everyone happy, so why try? Exactly my fucking point.
All of your curves, so why not wear something that makes you feel amazing? Good advice all around.
For who? I'm just asking for a friend here.
You call them curves, but we call them rolls. Because you got a roller and flour to find the wet spot. Okay. Don't be an asshole. The point being is, if you want to feel confident with the way you look, go for it. If you're going to have some asshole who gives you shit about it, fuck them. You know? Extremely obese chicks are just, it's not my scene. But I don't go out of my way to harass them because they're fat. That's the difference.
And I also have to ask this for a friend. When did the word curvy become synonymous with fat? There are a lot of women out there who are curvy. And that's a
that's a horrible example.
Damn fine thing, right?
Because I believe a curve kind of goes in like that. If it's just a straight line, then it's not really curvy, but
right there. But being full Tyrannosaurus rexitis doesn't make you curvy. It just kind of makes you scary. There you go. The problem with this mindset of,
Well, if it makes you happy, go for it.
well, you might be happy for a little while because it's usually just temporary. And that really is.
Really, happiness is really only temporary if you think about it. Because it doesn't take much to make us sad or depressed, does it? So you want to give this chick shit for having happiness in the way she dresses and saying, oh, it's only temporary. Guess what, Terrence Pop and the internet? Happiness is only temporary. Just like your relationship with your other half. It's only temporary until one of you decides they can't take your shit anymore, or one of you dies before the other one.
The big problem with Western women. Wham. They think that this temporary happiness that they're having is going to last forever. They think that their control, lock, stock, and barrel over the dating market is going to go on until they're dead. But
no, and that's the thing of it. The women's control over the dating market starts losing its appeal when she stops getting catcalls.
Hi, Josh.
Hello.
How you doing?
Bloody fantastic, man. How you doing?
Yeah, pretty good. Just finished work. Having a chill time.
Fuck yeah, I'm making a YouTube live, drinking a juice, fruit punch.
Oh, yeah, that's dank.
Mm-hmm. Here's the thing of it, YouTube. A lot of women will get disgusted and creeped out when men start hitting on them, construction workers, etc., as the stereotype goes. But, to quote Terrence Pop on the but, they will grow to miss it. When they become old enough to where men stop complimenting them, at first they're like, oh, fucking A, I got all these perverts hitting on me. But then after a while, they start to miss it. And then they want to feel sexy again. And then, because life is a twisted kind of fucked. Men will have a sex drive till they get too old to have it. And women's sex drive peaks when they get older. So it's like right when your wife's sex drive is peaking and she wants it all the time, you can't get your dick hard. Yeah, that's life in a nutshell. And you want a bitch because you're single. That's hilarious.
the reality is simply this. That door slammed shut right around the age of 35. And it says a lot.
No, it slams shut when guys start giving you compliments. Oh, but wait, we're not allowed to compliment the opposite sex without it being taken as an attack. It depends on your delivery of the comment and your intent. If you see an attractive woman walking down the street and you're like, hey, I would fuck the shit out of that chick, and the chick hears you and flips you off, you're being kind of a creep. You know what I'm saying? But if you're driving by and you're like, damn, that chick looks good today, she might look at you and go, okay, not as embracive or as over the top, and it could be taken as a compliment and less lustrous, if you will. You know what I'm saying? But you want to get into an argument about double standards when it comes to cat calls. If women are cat called by men, we're seen as perverts, and then they miss it when they get too old to get cat called on. Except by dudes their own age, and they're not into it because they want a younger man. Just like any fucking chick who wants a younger dude. Or any dude who wants a fucking younger chick. If dudes who get to that age, they're not getting the response they get. So they go after the younger chicks, and older gals are the same way.
That a lot of these women, it takes an additional 5 years for them to figure out that this whole girl power movement lied to them. And some of them.
The girl power movement does not lie to you. It's just how you interpret it.
Real delusional ones never wake up from the dream. Megan, I have to say, on some level, I kind of feel bad for you. I can state for a fact that the girl power advocates do not have your best interest at heart. They want to keep you in your place because they can't stand the competition. This is a philosophy that convinces women to become something that men don't want. That's either incredibly stupid or, and this is where I'm leaning, it's not an accident. You are competing with 19 other women for one dude. And this whole girl power thing, it's the equivalent of Game Genie. But
And it's not like you don't see 19 other dudes competing for one chick. I mean, let's be realistic here. You go to the bar and there's some super hot of-age chick having some alcoholic beverage. Oh, the chick on that workout ball. Oh my god, dude. I got distracted. My apologies. How is it no different, though, than like 20 other dudes going after one chick? And she's just sitting there tossing her hair, enjoying every stinking minute of it, while like the other chicks in the bar just scowl at her like, look at her, that cheap little slut, sitting there picking her apart because they're jealous that the guys are giving her more attention than everyone else. And the same can be said for guys. You believe that? Yes, sir. When you got 19 chicks paying attention to one dude in the room, and all the other dudes are sitting there going, what the fuck is his secret? This mother, you know what I'm saying? Don't give me that crap, YouTube.
But men are not the end boss that you have to defeat. They're the prize. Now, ladies,
No, I wouldn't say men are the prize. I would say the relationship that you could achieve from having a healthy, not only healthy, but happy, loving relationship. That's the prize. It's not the man or the woman that you may achieve from that relationship. It's the prize. The prize is simply the relationship. Okay? Yeah. You know, you get done fucking your girlfriend and you both are too tired to keep going on, so you just lay there cuddling, talking about stupid shit. Your girlfriend farts, you laugh, so you farts, and then you both are sitting there laughing. And then you fall asleep laughing at the stupid shit. Happy relationship right there.
know you're all thinking that you are the prize. Well, all I really have to say is, meh. You've been lied to, and me, I'm just telling.
So you told me that men are the prize for women, but then no one's the prize. I'm confused. I think Terrence Pop's been lied to as well.
You the truth. And there's a reason why they say the truth hurts. Because usually it's not what you want to hear.
Yeah, that's the truth of it. Ha!
With that being said, I'm down to drinking pure vodka, and I know my producer is going to make me chill out for a couple hours because that is dude law.
Yeah, just about done with this juice. Chill out for a couple hours and just kind of do your thing. I get that. 100%.
Space Ghost.
Oh, boy. Craziness, YouTube.
They're blowing up a whale? Oh, shit, I gotta go! Give me a six-pack and a cooler.
Couldn't have just hooked up a barge to it? Drag it back into the water?
I would have to go see it. I could not.
Of all the choices that you had in front of you.
Oh boy, that was a lot to unpack. But then the stupidity continues. There was a video on Roma Army's channel that we must review. We must look it up. Because why? Why? Okay.
When my boyfriend asked me why.
There's a chick out there who blames cheating on her ADHD, which a lot of people get ADD and ADHD confused. It's basically the same thing, but ADHD with the H on the emphasis of the word H, you're a lot more hyper. So ADD, you're just that, you know what I'm saying? You can't focus on shit. But ADHD, you can't focus on shit and you're hyper. That's the difference. But this chick right here tried blaming her cheating on her ADHD. To quote Ron White, you can't fix stupid. Stupid is forever. I'm just about at the end of my juice and oof. Holy crap.
When my boyfriend asked me why I cheated on him, my dead ass looked him in the eye and blamed it on my ADHD. I was like, I can't focus on.
Slow clap for you. Let's picture for 1 second if a guy pulled this crap. I'm sorry, honey, my dick was just hard. I couldn't help myself, you know. It's a mental condition, I tell you what. That shit wouldn't fly. The fuck out of here. If a guy straight up tried blaming his ADHD for this shit, you never hear the end of it. But what pigs guys are.
On any one thing for too long, baby. It's not my fault, it's my mental illness. What?
You know what that chick's got, YouTube? Attention deficit whore for dick disorder. You know, some of you are going to call me a hypocrite because I cheated on Stephanie, and it's the one time I did and the one time I regret it. I'll never do it again, dude. I had a good relationship with her. Not trying to get back with her or nothing, just acknowledging it for what it is. Meantime, you know what I'm saying? It's not really frowned upon as much when women do it. I'm not trying to pick on any one specific gender. That's just how it is. If men cheat, it's all anyone ever talks about. If women do it, it's, well, maybe he shouldn't have been such a piece of shit asshole.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why men are starting to go their own way.
Why men are starting to go their own way. That's not the only reason, Roma. That's not the only reason.
And that is partially why disabilities and mental health issues are not taken seriously. It's a really good example of why people who may struggle with disabilities or mental disorders.
That's precisely my point. This is exactly why people with mental disorders are not taken seriously, because of chicks like that.
Really struggle and have anxiety at expressing it to their partners because they don't want their partners to think that they're just using it as an excuse. That's a really good example of why I'm proud of every single man that has left a toxic relationship and left a toxic girl like her. Gentlemen, while I'm here, I want to tell you something. I know that society has raised you and taught you to think that if you quit at anything, you're a failure.
Oh my fucking God. Oh my God, that is so true. It hurts. Yes, men are raised in our society. If we quit at anything, we're automatically a failure, whether it's a toxic relationship or not. If women quit on a failed relationship, no one says you're a failure. They say, good for you, sweetheart. Ditch that zero and get yourself a hero.
And I understand and I know that that resonates into relationships. I see a lot of guys say things like, I'm just done. I'm so hurt. I'm broken. And I say, how come you don't leave? They say, because I haven't tried my all yet. I haven't given everything I have.
And women feel the same way. This is why a lot of women who are in shitty relationships don't quit. You know, they love drama. They crave attention. They want someone to feel sorry for themselves. Or they haven't quite given it their all yet, you know?
Have yet. I don't want to give up. I don't want to quit. But you know what ends up happening? Relationships like that will leave you empty. And if you've left one like that, I'm proud of you.
Yep, if you left a relationship that was not good for you, I'm proud of you too, because you don't need that crap. You deserve someone. If you're a decent person, you deserve someone who's decent for you. Anyways, thank you for watching the video. And I'll catch you cool cobras later. Subscribe for more.